Hello, this is Ken Ferry with this week's Boots in the Field. Got out this week to spend some time with the farmers at our retailers scattered around. It was a good week. We're up in Grand Ridge area up there and working with some of those growers and talking to them about their yield expectations. A lot of them thought they were going to be in that 200 to 240 range on the corn. And the beans were starting to turn fast for them, but still questioning where the beans are going to be. But fairly excited about their yields. We're over in the Donovan area as well, Donovan, Illinois, and fields look good over there. Got to take out some of the drowned spots in the area, but a lot of guys thinking they're going to be 200 bushel plus on their corn over there as well. We even got out in the field in some replanted May 28th corn that was checking 200 bushel. So they did. It actually rained twice while I was over there, so they do have moisture there to finish them out. They're just going to be, again, probably another week or two before they can do much in that area. We did also spend some time in the forest area. Again, the guys there have been pretty fortunate moisture-wise, and a lot of them expecting corn in that 210, 230 range, and their beans as well are turning fast at south. Crops are actually coming out in the south as we talk with some of these guys. It's the early April corn, that stuff that was planted basically before the 20th. The guys down in the Winchester area took out some irrigated corn. Field went around 255. But I also took out a non-irrigated sand that was 187 bushels, so that's kind of exciting. Other fields in the area running in that 220 to 240 range, about 22 to 24% moisture. Really no beans coming out there, so those numbers are looking good. In the Blue Mound, 109 to 111 day corn coming out, planted April 12th or 13th. And it looks like it's 230 plus. Yield checking in there was, in that 200, 210 range using a 90,000 kernel. So obviously this stuff is filled pretty well. Moved back in that 80, 85,000 kernel per bushel range. Moisture in the corn there, 23, 24%. No beans coming out there either. Talked to the guys down in the Sullivan area. Not much going on there, but the beans are starting to come out. The field that was being harvested, according to the monitor, was tapping 70 bushel. So that's pretty exciting there as well. In the Lovington area, again, running into some good corn, the early April corn in that 220 to 240 range on field averages. Took some 2.7 beans out, and the fields range from 68 bushel all the way to 81 bushel, and corn moisture is around 25%. Over in Tazewell area, reports coming in about 30% moisture on the corn, 105, 107 day early April corn, and it too hanging in that 230 bushel range. A field harvested in the dry area went from 0 to 265 bushel with an average around 150. I think we'll see a lot of that when we get started here in the Hayworth area. We'll see some wide swings in the yield to get ourselves to that 150 to 180 and 90 bushel corn itself. But as we move forward, the guys saying that when they're out in the field, based on the yield monitor, the greener the corn, the higher the yield. So we can see this corn is drying down. In some cases, it's prematurely dying, and that'll be the case, I think, throughout the year. As you see deteriorated health in a corn plant, you'll see the yields dipping a little bit itself. But it is exciting to know that we're getting some pretty decent fill on that early corn in that process itself. Beans in general are starting to turn fast just about everywhere. With the warm temperatures coming in next week, I expect a big movement next week in a lot of these fields. Those fields that are turning pretty uniformly, and there's quite a few of them out there, I expect them to be pretty decent. The fields that have been pretty rough as far as what portions turn due to different diseases or light spots, we're probably going to find small beans there. More sudden death is showing up from the road. I'll have Zach post on our website one of the pictures of our Allevo plot, and you can see some pretty impressive results there from April planted beans treated and not. We're still spraying aphids in late planted late beans, and we are moving into spraying some of the late replanted corn as well. There's a lot of aphids in these cornfields now. Most of them are showing up down around that ear zone. Unfortunately, this will push the corn along a little. All that sap that you see on the outside of that stalk where the aphids are pulling out, that should have been put in the grain, and that is a detriment. But most of this corn in that R5, R5.5 range, it's not going to pay to spray. But the late planted, late May, June replanted corn, definitely we want to take a look at that. Make sure the aphids don't jump above the ear with some of those fields where we're finding aphids up to the top, and we will have to clean them up so we don't lose all of that ear fill itself. But we're getting a good start. I hope these numbers hold once we move into the rougher planting window and later into the season that we can hang with this itself. Generally, our best yields come out on the first go-around, but I'm hoping that we don't drift off too much in itself, and it'll be exciting to get into some more of these beans and see how the yields hold out itself. So with that, keep her safe, keep her moving.